All right, let me set the scene for it. Close your eyes, picture this. Wedding bells, but like next level,
Yeah.
not just any bells. The kind echoing through these massive halls, chandeliers everywhere, the fancy kind.
Yeah.
And more ocean views than you can shake a stick at. That's the dream, the fantasy that the Breakers Palm Beach is selling. And today, well, we're diving deep into how they actually pull it off.
Oh, this is going to be good.
You know I love a good deep dive, and this time we're scrolling through the Breakers vendor profile. It's on Maharani Weddings.
Maharani weddings. Okay, now we're talking. For those who haven't stumbled across it in their wedding-obsessed internet spirals, it's the place to be for, and I quote, the absolute best in Indian weddings.
Exactly. So, they don't just let anyone on there, which is why I was so curious to see how the Breakers is playing the game. And spoiler alert, they came to play.
Hit me with it. What's their strategy?
Well, first of all, their website copy. Forget about it. Reads like straight-up poetry. You've got the sound of waves during your vows, sunsets that'll make you believe in love again.
Okay, I'm already sold. Where do I sign?
Right. And they don't stop there. They even talk about moonlight dancing across the dance floor. Like, who needs a disco ball with that kind of ambiance?
It's clever, though. They're not just describing a place, they're painting a picture. It's all about appealing to the senses, making you feel like you're right there.
Totally. And they're smart about it. They sprinkle in those phrases like intimate ceremony alongside the grand affair stuff. So, you get that feeling that your day is going to be like rare, exquisite, and wholly personal,
Yeah.
even if, a thousand other couples have probably used the same venue.
It's the oldest trick in the book, but it works. People want that exclusivity, that feeling that their wedding is unique, even if it's following a pretty well-trodden path.
And they are not putting all their eggs in one basket either. Courtyards, ballrooms, outdoor options, you name it, they've got it. And of course, that signature ocean backdrop, because hello, Florida.
See, that's crucial. By showcasing that kind of variety, they're casting a wider net. You might be picturing a fairy tale garden, someone else wants a glittering ballroom bash, the breaker saying, hey, we can be both.
Makes you wonder if they actually can be all things to all people, which I guess is a question we'll be trying to answer today.
Exactly. And they end with this great call to action, almost like a challenge. Dream your biggest dreams, then turn to us. It's like, we dare you.
Right. Like, think you've got an impossible vision. We love a challenge. Bold move.
Absolutely. They're not just facilitators, they're dream weavers, the ones who can take your wildest wedding fantasies and, spin them into reality. At least that's the idea. But let's be honest. Words only go so far.
That's what I'm saying. Let's talk photos. The Maharani Weddings profile. It's a visual feast. We're talking real Indian weddings at the Breakers, and let me tell you, these are not your average Instagram dumps.
And that's where it gets really interesting, right? Because a picture's worth 1,000 words, but in the world of luxury weddings, it's worth 1,000 bookings.
Oh, for sure. It's social proof on steroids.
Yeah.
Forget testimonials. You're seeing these happy couples, the outfits, the pure joy. It's like contagious.
Exactly. But it's not just about happy couples. It's about showcasing a whole lifestyle. These photos are meticulously crafted to convey a sense of, exclusivity, belonging to an elite circle.
So let's break down a few examples. First up, the Champagne Lenga wedding, December 2018. This one. This one is like the definition of extra. Dripping in sparkle. Every detail planned to the nines.
And that's what I mean about selling a lifestyle. They're not just saying, we have a ballroom. They're saying, we have a ballroom where you can live out your most glamorous Bollywood dreams.
Right, but then, just to show they can do more than glitz, you've got the cozy, prodigious, winsome wedding, also December 2018. This one goes for warmth, romance, all that. Really playing up the natural beauty of the Breakers Gardens.
2 weddings, same month, completely different vibes. This is them showing off their range, proving they're not a one-trick pony. They're the whole circus, ready to put on whatever show you desire.
And for the couple who wants the whole circus, we've got the action-packed Bollywood Moves wedding, November 2017. Think vibrant colors, high-energy dance floors, the kind of photos that practically burst off the screen.
And that's the genius, right? Whether you want classic elegance, a modern twist, or a full-blown Bollywood production, the Breakers say no more. We gotcha.
It's like they have a wedding for every mood, every personality. Speaking of which, did you catch that little tidbit on their Maharani Weddings page? The one about the Breakers hosting Engage.One
Engage Doc One's team. Wait, wasn't that the event for wedding planners back in the day? Now, for the Breakers to host something of that caliber, they're making a statement.
It's like they're saying, we're not just keeping up with the wedding trends, we're setting them. But what does that actually mean for the couples who are, let's be real, dropping some serious cash on their big day?
Think of it like this. Imagine going to a doctor who not only reads all the latest medical journals, but also teaches seminars at Harvard. That's the breakers in the wedding world. They're not just a venue, they're thought leaders.
Whoa, okay, now that's an analogy I can get behind. So they're not just selling a pretty backdrop, they're selling expertise, a guarantee that they're at the top of their game.
Precisely. And that peace of mind. That's priceless, especially when you're planning something as important as your wedding.
It's like, you know that saying, you're not buying a Rolex, you're buying into a legacy. Well, here it's like, you're not booking a ballroom, you're buying into the breaker's legacy.
100%. And it's not just any legacy. We're talking history, glamour, a little sprinkle of that old money mystique. They're selling you a piece of that breaker's magic, you know? Like your wedding is part of something bigger, something timeless.
Okay, I love that. The timeless elegance, the exclusivity, check, check. But let's be real, there are a ton of beautiful venues out there. So what really sets the breakers apart? What's the secret sauce?
It's not about the bricks and mortar, right? It's about the experience. They've figured out how to craft this whole journey for the couple and every single guest.
Okay, so walk me through it. What does that actually look like?
Think about it. Anyone can rent out a ballroom and look for the best, but the breakers, they've got a whole team for every little detail. We're talking like custom floral arrangements, the kind of catering that make Michelin drool.
Don't forget the lighting. They probably have someone who's designed like Broadway shows handling their chandeliers.
Oh, absolutely. It's all about exceeding those expectations, right?
Right.
From the second a guest arrives, they're surrounded by luxury, like you're royalty for the weekend at least.
And that level of attention, you can't just like Google that and DIY it. It's like having a fairy godmother waving her magic wand over every detail.
Exactly. It's that peace of mind knowing that every little thing is handled by people who basically invented the luxury wedding. And for couples who want the fairy tale without lifting a finger, priceless.
Makes you wonder if part of what they're selling is escape, too. Like, yeah, you're getting married, but you're also stepping into this bubble of opulence,
Yeah.
a world away from, real life.
Oh, 100%. The Breakers is a destination, even if you live down the street. You're entering a different realm where every whim is anticipated.
And for a wedding, that's huge. Your guests aren't just showing up, they're being whisked away on this mini vacation.
Right. And that adds to the whole allure, right? It elevates the wedding, makes it this multi-sensory experience that sticks with people.
So it's not just about the idas. It's about this whole narrative they're building around the event.
Yeah.
From the save the dates to, like, the farewell brunch mimosas.
Exactly. They get it. A wedding isn't just a day, it's a journey, and they want to curate every step of the way, make sure it's nothing short of, well, extraordinary.
Which, let's be honest, is a pretty high-level marketing genius. They turned a wedding into a whole brand experience.
Genius. They're not selling a product, they're selling a lifestyle. A fantasy, but like rooted in reality.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so alluring.
It all circles back to those photos on their Maharani Weddings page. They're not just showing venues and decor, they're selling an aspiration.
And the beauty. They're not dictating what that aspiration is. They give you the backdrop, the tools, the expertise, then step back and let the couple create their own masterpiece.
And based on those photos, the masterpieces are pretty spectacular.
Each one different, right? But with that unmistakable Breakers touch, you know it's a Breakers wedding instantly. That's brand power.
It's funny, we started talking marketing and now it's like we're talking art. But I guess that's what these luxury weddings are, right? Art, experience, and let's be honest, a whole lot of extravagance.
Totally. And it's fascinating to see how a place like the Breakers, with all its history and grandeur, is like at the forefront of this whole cultural phenomenon.
Okay, but before we get too swept up in the romance of it all, can we zoom in on something specific, something that really caught my eye?
Ooh, I do love a good detail. Lay it on me.
Remember we were talking about the Breakers hosting that massive wedding planner event, Engaged.16?
Yes, the one that cemented their status as like the Beyoncé of the wedding world.
Exactly. Well, Maharani Weddings wasn't just, casually covering the event. They were practically embedded, taking notes on everything.
Okay, now we're talking insider access. What kind of intel did they get? They weren't just live tweeting the canapes, were they?
Oh, honey, this was way more than canapes. For starters, they were obsessed with the welcome bags. Apparently, they were legendary.
Okay, so not a bottle of water and a protein bar. What kind of swag are we talking here?
Think like artisan chocolates, fancy soaps made with like locally sourced, whatever, maybe a handwritten note from the head chef, the
I'm
usual.
gonna set the tone, right? Welcome, darling, you've arrived.
Exactly. But it wasn't just the freebies. Maharani weddings also went crazy for the event design itself.
Oh, I bet. What do they do? Ice sculptures? Doves? A Cirque du Soleil performance. Give me the over-the-top details.
They were really into how the breakers used this captivating choral theme everywhere, especially at that beach club luncheon. Imagine
Yeah.
elegant coral reefs but made of flowers, coral-colored cocktails shimmering in the sun.
So it's not just about throwing money around, it's about the details, creating a story, an immersive experience.
And not just any theme, right?
Yeah.
One that fits the breakers, that coastal elegance. Subtle, but effective.
They're not hitting you over the head with the beach wedding thing, they're elevating it.
Exactly. It's about more than just what you see. It's what you feel, what you smell, even taste. It's a whole sensory journey.
And for those wedding planners, talk about inspiration, seeing how the Breakers takes an idea and turns it into this unforgettable experience.
So with Engaged Upon 16, they weren't just throwing a party for the wedding elite. They were giving a master class in luxury.
Brilliant. It's all about connections, buzz, and ultimately bookings. What wedding planner wouldn't want a Breakers wedding on their resume?
Makes you wonder what other juicy details they picked up on, right?
I'm already picturing this whole Pinterest board based on that choral theme. They're playing chess, not checkers when it comes to this. It's not about one wedding, it's about building a legacy.
And that, my friend, is how you become a legend.
But you know what? As much as I love dissecting their marketing genius,
Don't leave me hanging. What's next?
I think it's time we switch gears, looked at this from a whole new perspective.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. What you got?
We've talked marketing, the venue, the experience, but what about the people capturing it all?
The photographers.
Yeah.
The ones who get to see it all through the lens. Ding, ding, ding. We're going behind the scenes with a photographer as a regular at the Breakers. They shoot those incredible Indian weddings we've been, low-key obsessing over.
Wait, seriously, we get the inside scoop? This is better than front row concert tickets.
Oh, it gets even better. Our photographer friend, they don't hold back. They spill the tea on everything, the challenges of shooting in a place like that.
Oh, I bet. The lighting alone, it'd be a dream, or maybe a nightmare, depending on the time of day.
To those little behind-the-scenes moments no one ever sees.
Give me all the juicy gossip. This is like peeking behind the curtain of like a secret wedding society.
Okay, buckle up, because we're about to get up close and personal with the artistry and the hustle that goes into making a Breakers wedding picture perfect. All right, everyone, get your VIP passes ready, because we are about to meet the person who sees these Breakers weddings like no one else.
Hit me with it. We've talked strategy, we've seen the photos, but who better to give us the real inside scoop than a photographer, someone who's right there in the action, capturing every moment.
And let me tell you, this photographer does not disappoint. They were so real, so honest about what it takes to pull off those picture-perfect moments. And the first thing they emphasized was, like, the sheer scale of these Indian weddings. We're not talking just a ceremony and dance floor. We're talking multi-day extravaganzas.
Okay, that tracks. Remember those photos on their Maharani weddings page? All those events, all those outfits, it wasn't just saying I do, it was like a full-on production.
Exactly. And for our photographer friend, that means being on their A game from, like, sunrise to way past midnight. They were big on scouting locations beforehand, and not just the obvious spots.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Not just where does the bride stand for the ceremony, but where's that perfect beam of sunlight going to hit the veil?
You got it. They map out the entire weekend. Those little nooks for stolen glances, epic backdrops, those candid moments that really tell the story. It's next level.
Talk about pressure. It's like they're choreographing the entire wedding photo album before the first dance even happens.
Right. And they said building that relationship with the couple beforehand is crucial. Understanding their vision, their priorities. Because when you've got like a guest list the size of a small country, there are no do-overs.
Oh, God, can you imagine? Sorry, you missed your first dance. I was busy getting a good shot of the cake.
The ultimate wedding nightmare. But speaking of things that can make or break a photo, we got to talk lighting. And at the Breakers, those ballrooms, the gardens, that Florida sky, must be a challenge.
Oh, for sure. That's where the real skill comes in, right? Turning a harsh glare into something dramatic, or that soft golden light into a romantic moment.
Our photographer actually called the Breakers a playground of light, which, coming from someone who probably sees the world in, like apertures and shutter speeds, that's high praise.
That's beautiful. Okay, I can already picture it. Those golden hour shots on the ocean lawn. Magical.
They were obsessed with the ocean lawn, said it's a dream, especially for those sunset photos. But they also geek out about those less obvious spots. The ones that really capture the intimacy.
Oh, tell me more. Give me all the secret spots.
They mentioned courtyards, balconies, even those little hidden nooks tucked away inside. Said those often make for the most genuine, heartfelt photos.
Because it's not about the spectacle then, it's about the raw emotion.
Right.
Right.
Yes, those stolen glances between the couple, those big family hugs, even like the teary toasts. The moments that make everyone grab a tissue
Yeah.
or another glass of champagne.
They're capturing those little in-between moments, the stuff most people wouldn't even notice.
Which is funny, because at a breaker's wedding, someone's always watching. These photographers, they don't miss a thing.
And that's why you hire a pro, right? They've got that sixth sense for being in the right place at the right time.
Totally. And they get it. They understand that their job is bigger than just taking pictures. They're preserving memories.
It's a huge responsibility. They're literally capturing a family's legacy.
It really makes you appreciate what goes into it.
Oh.
The artistry, the passion, and honestly, the stamina it takes to be a wedding photographer.
Yeah.
Especially at a place as grand as the Breakers.
It's a team effort, for sure. The planner, the florist, the lighting designer.
Yeah.
Everyone plays a part.
And when it all comes together, magic. Pure magic.
Well said. This whole deep dive has been amazing. It's not just luxury, it's an experience, a memory they're creating.
And for everyone listening, whether you're planning your own dream wedding or just living vicariously through us, I hope this gives you a little more appreciation for everything that goes into these incredible events.
Because at the end of the day, it's about love, it's about family, and starting a new chapter.
And maybe a little bit of sparkle along the way.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, happy planning, everyone.